We have to remind ourselves to take a deep breath. Head, neck, backbone straight. Let us take one more conscious, happy, cheerful breath. When we sit straight and take a deep breath, our instruments get aligned. Body, mind, intellect. These are our instruments. Let us bring our mind in the present moment where life is happening. All other things are happening in our mind, past and future. Life happens in the present moment. Stimuli comes from the present moment. Let us let go all the past experiences, only keeping the learnings. Let us let go all future anxieties, worries, tensions. Present confusions. Let us chant loudly so that all other lingering thoughts also run away. Without our permissions, our thoughts come and stay. They run away when we chant loudly.
सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः गजाननं भूतगणातिसेवितं कवित्तजम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजम् सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरम् तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम।
Hari Om. Thank you, Mr. Rajshekar ji. So we are doing Bhagavad Gita summary, chapter wise. One of the big chapter, which is a summary of entire Bhagavad Gita in prospect, is second chapter. So once we understand the second chapter, all other chapters are expansions of second chapter topics. Though in the end, we are going to summarize all the topics of the second chapter. We must have a link of how this psychological surgery is happening. What deeply we are seeking in life is more important than what we are doing in life. Most of the time, our attention is on what I am doing. And then what I have to do. So there is a saying called as what I am seeking is more important than what I am having and what I am doing. And the seeker asks questions. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjun asked, according to me, or some statistics, around 44 questions. From the questions of the person, one can make out what one is seeking. What is there for breakfast? What is there for lunch? What is there for dinner is one type of question. What is going to happen? Which doctor to go? Then where to travel? Another type of question. Job related question, family related question. What will happen to my children, my grandchildren, where they're going to study, whether they are going to marry, how they are going to get married, what will happen, what kind of wife, husband, children, one type of question. These are at least some better questions, but worst questions are in that serial, why that character is behaving with that character. Saas bhi kabhi bahu thi. Why that saas is behaving that way? Worst kind of questions. Another little second level of worst questions is that why somebody is behaving this way. These questions are not going to take us, lead us anywhere. Why somebody is behaving this way? My neighbors, my relatives, these people, because this question will not lead us to anything. They say that a seeker has questions. And suppose we have repeated questions, then the life is boring of that particular person. Same day, same questions are coming. Repetitive information is coming. And there are people who are interesting. Lord says, Ashyarevat Pati. I am amazed that in spite of knowing all these things, still people are behaving this way. People are having different kinds of questions. There is another type of people who have no questions only in life. Life is boring for these two kinds of people. So one of the interesting aspect of our culture is that Hindu culture is that we are not believers, we are seekers. We don't believe anything unless we know it is true. Vivekananda said, don't believe anything unless you know it is true, whether yourself, whether God. Just because my grandmother told, just because somebody else told, no, 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 you have to find out. So, questioning is more important than describing and expressing. From today, one of the sadhana for this week, because many people say to me that, you must tell one sadhana. This week sadhana is that we must explain less, talk less, describe less what is happening in my life. We must ask questions who is in front of us. Many people are very interesting. They ask question, how are you? Before getting an answer, they move on to second person. Not interested in knowing the answer also. So, why we are discussing this? This is a most important topic. In Bhagavad Gita, last time we saw from 11 to 30 words summary that among all questions in life, the $1 trillion question is this: who am I? If this question is not coming, then all other questions will have less value, because like a drunkard person who forgets one, what is my role, what is my situation, many people have forgotten who am I. What is my view about myself is a $1 trillion question to ask every day once. Who am I? And now from 11 to 30, what we have covered is the core of entire Upanishad, Brahma Sutra, Gita. There are 3 possibilities. So this is another interesting point. When I first came to this knowledge in 1980s, before that, I thought I am only one self. But after coming to Bhagavad Gita, I realized there are 3 selves. More confusion. So I have to now take a decision, or I have to think, who am I in reality? In 11 to 30 verses, 3 things Lord has pointed out. Either you are a body, mind, intellect instrument, if I am thinking, which is only a transactional self. This is a transactional window available in the bank. The manager is sitting inside, but on the counter in the bank, if I visit a bank, there are transaction windows are happening. So body, mind, intellect are instruments. Suppose I consider this as myself, then I must know the nature of it. When we go one step higher, that no, Lord has also mentioned that no, as you change clothes, there is a ego transmigratory self which goes from one body to another body. That is you. Transmigratory self. So these 3 T's are very important. We can by heart these 3 T's: transactional self, transmigratory self, and the third one is transcendental self, where Lord is Ashyarevat. Lord saying is that many people do not know that there is a transcendental self. We have heard transcendental meditation. Transcendental means one which is beyond senses and mind and intellect. That is me. Oh, that is me. I am infinite. Yes, you are all pervading. You are infinite. Your existence, your consciousness, your nature of bliss, but I don't know. This cannot be killed. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Nobody can touch this. So we saw many attributes of this. Now, who do I consider this as myself? That is our important question for today. Whether I consider myself as my body, mind and intellect, and then my entire attention is what is happening in my body, what is happening in my mind, what is happening in my intellect. Then we are not going to grow. Because all the time I'm saying I'm sad, I'm happy at the mind level. I'm confused, I'm clear about the intellect level. My body is becoming old, my teeth, new wisdom tooth is coming. Then my hair is getting white. Then walking problem, this problem, that I'm describing about the body. So now, very important point Lord has brought about here in 11 to 30. This is core of Bhagavad Gita knowledge. That Lord says, either of the three you take as your belief or assumption, or you consider, there is no valid reason for grief. So number one surgery point Lord has done. He has removed the grief from Arjun's mind. And we can see how this grief is removed. Arjun is immediately shifting to next question, ki what is my duty? So now what is the benefit of living, knowing these three selves? Many benefits. I have to ponder that what is my real core belief? Do I really believe that I am only this body? Then there will be a lot of challenges, because this body will become from child to young to middle age to old, and all these challenges are happening. And anyhow, one nature we have learnt about this body, mind, intellect, these are only instrument to transact, that these are subject to change. So when there is subject to change, then there is nothing to grieve. So what are the benefits of knowing this? This is very important. Benefit number one, suppose I consider myself as my transacting self body, then change is their nature. This knowledge will help me in keeping this fit. So our first duty in life to keep the body fit, to keep the mind cheerful, and to keep the intellect clear. No, but I am doing my duty in life, but then I am forgotten this basic duty. Now I am only doing duty towards my job, towards my business, towards my family, not at the cost of my own body, mind, intellect. Very important point. I must remember this, that Lord has given this body, mind, intellect on rent to us. So whenever we take something on rent, we return that back, no, to the bank. Okay, Tera tujhko arpan, le le Bhagwan. But then how are we giving back our mind? The mind is sad. My Lord is telling, I have given you such innocent, beautiful, cheerful mind when you are young, and now you have made the mind so sad, depressed, agitated. How I have given you the body. Body is so flexible, so beautiful when it is young. Now you have made this body like this, and I have given you a beautiful intellect to inquire about life, and this intellect is clouded by so many things here. So I must return this body, mind, intellect to Lord, saying that, Lord, you gave me this nice, beautiful mind, take it back. I have made it more beautiful. This is my return gift. Second, I will not become sad, depressed, confused, emotionally drained, physically exhausted with challenging situation, because I know that this Jagata Jayate Gati, it is constantly going, changing. Even this body, mind, intellect is changing. Both are changing. So why to get exhausted? Why to get emotionally drained, confused, sad, depressed? There is no reason for all this kind of thing, because things are going to change. Everything is going to pass away. Fourth, I will face every situation with equanimity. I will bounce back strongly. Swami Mitranandaji's favorite statement in life is that whatever happens, bounce back. Bounce back strongly. Because things are going to come to us in terms of people who are going to trouble us or give us happiness. Situations are going to give us trouble or give us happiness. Objects are going to give us trouble or happiness. I must bounce back by dealing with them equanimously. Equanimity in mind. We are holding that equanimity because these all things are going to come in detail in next 17 chapters, 16 chapters. I do not lose anything in life nor gain anything because I am a transmigratory self. Suppose I say, okay, I am not the body, mind, intellect. I am the jiva, which goes from one body to another body. Then again, I am not losing any person when the person dies, when I am not losing any family. Because next life, I will have another set of people who I will call as my family, my wife, my children, my husband, my grandchildren. This set, another set, next set, one set will keep changing. What is the problem? No point of grieving. I will become more aware, responsible towards my speech, actions, and character when I know that law of reincarnation and karma concept. Now, this karma concept we are keeping on hold Because third chapter is Karma Yoga, where we are going to discuss 6 laws of karma. Very important, before we go to Karma Yoga, we must know there are 6 laws of karma. What are these 6 laws? We are going to do it later on. So suppose I think that there is rebirth. Suppose you ask a person that whether you are only this body, then also there is no point in cribbing, complaining. Just keep the body fit, keep it healthy, keep it on, enjoy. Suppose you are believing in the rebirth, then you become extremely responsible of how I'm treating people, how I'm getting treated, because everything is happening as per the law of karma. I will value more values, morality, love, compassion, forgiveness, because I know that whatever I am getting in front of me is my own past actions result, because the first law of karma is action and result. Result is another form of action. There is no difference between result and action. It is only one form is changing. One very, very important question gets answered. This question, those who are listening today, 79 sadhaks, this question must be dropped from our mind. Why me? Why me, Bhagwan? Why are you troubling me? Why are you doing this, Bhagwan, to this world? Why are you creating corona? Why are you creating, when you have created this world, why are you creating all this? Why question gets dropped? So we must drop this question. Why God are you doing this? And why you're doing this to me? And why in my life only this happening? Because more important question is that who am I rather than why am I? Because once I know who am I, why am I, question will disappear. Why things are happening the way things are happening will disappear when I know who am I. From what context are you asking the question? From any context, there is no point of confusion. There is no point of shoka. So in this 11 to 30, the first topic what Lord has taken is that first job, you come out of this worry, tension, sadness, depression. That is the first job. Because there is no point. This why me question is the most destructive question. Why me, Bhagwan? Why only you selected me among the 7.7 billion people on this earth to go through? Because now when the law of karma we will see, then we will get all the answers. But now also we have got the answers, because the moment I shift my attention that I am not only this body, mind, intellect, there is something which is continuing from the last birth to this birth to the next birth. Even that conceptual understanding will take care of so many challenges. My focus will shift to inner growth from then outer achievements. So why do I do a job? Why do I create a family? One, for inner growth. This I must note down in bold letters in my diary. That why am I doing everything in life? For my inner growth. I recently had gone to one session from Shardananji. He was talking about various things, rituals and marriage, etc. One beautiful thing about marriage, he told, is that marriage starts from one verse, which is one of the Mahavakyas, Om Purnamada Purnamidam. Our goal of marriage is to become complete, sense of completeness. And all the time in the married life or in the job or in the business, I must say whether I'm moving from incompleteness to completeness. Otherwise, after so many years, still I feel incomplete. So inner growth is the goal of marriage. Inner growth is the goal of a job. Inner growth is the goal of a business. If I am not growing internally, just last week I had gone for one meeting, top management. So they want to go from, I think, 50 crores to 100 crores next year. And then I gave them one thought process which they liked. We had a long discussion on this in their training center. I told, yes, there are two objectives we will keep. We will grow from 50 crores to 100 crores. But at the same time, the people in the company must also grow internally with the outer growth of the company. And the business head or the CEO liked this idea so much. He told, can you discuss this more? I'm more interested to discuss this. Two things are important. With outer achievements and targets, whether my inner growth is happening, and that is called as people development, and then outside development. Both are important. Why both are important? Not because Prasad Deole is saying, because 700th verse of Bhagavad Gita is saying. Last verse of Bhagavad Gita says, where these two come together, there is happiness, there is prosperity, there is growth, everything. I will experience deep freedom, choice, love, and joy. Why this I will experience? Because every moment I know I have a choice. For many people, the concept is wrong. For many people, destiny is future. No, my past is my destiny. My present, I have a choice and free will, and my future is my own creation. So every moment, suppose I am a transmigratory self, then I will have choice and freedom to change any moment. God says, I am just waiting only for one sentence from you that you have resolved to change, and then my grace will come. The moment Ratnakar resolved that I am going to do this japa, even if in spite of not knowing what is the meaning, grace came and became Valmiki. I am not interested in your past, how many mistakes have you done and how many sins have you done and how have you spent your life. No, that I'm not. Whether have you resolved to take up highest goal of life, because that is why you have been made as human being. This opportunity, you do not lose it, because this opportunity is not available for devatas also. Even if you go to Swarga, you will have to come back as a human being. World will become more tolerant, loving, accepting, knowing that everyone is going through their law of karma. So law of karma, we are going to take up that time. All these challenges will be resolved. That why some people, in spite of doing so many illegal things, don't get caught. And some people, no drinking, no smoking, no bad habits, but get into some physical trouble. This question is asked. And suppose I shift my attention, which Lord wants us to do it, that I do not die in reality. This knowledge will make me fearless. In our Shastra, we do not talk of happiness as happiness. Happiness, one attribute is added in Taittiriya Upanishad. When we go to higher text, they do not talk of happiness. They talk about fearless happiness, which is indestructible. Otherwise, our happiness is touch wood, touch wood, touch wood, touch wood, touch wood, touch wood. It should not go. No, I should not discuss more about happiness because somebody's iska nazar lag jayega. No, do not talk of happiness because some sorrow will come. Our happiness is very fragile. Touch wood happiness. Our Taittiriya Upanishad and all other higher texts talk about fearless happiness, not happiness which is subject to time. And that I can only realize and experience that highest level when I shift my attention from the transactional self to the transmigratory self to the transcendental self. And that is what is the journey, what Lord is recommending. Last important benefit, because people say, why should I read Bhagavad Gita, that we are going to take at the end of this chapter? Why should I read Bhagavad Gita now? Why not after retirement? Again, some second type of people say, this particular knowledge has come to me late in life. Now I become old. Lord is going to answer this question before the second chapter is getting over. I will discover a higher purpose, meaning in and of life. That is very important, because when the purpose of life is clear to me, then the life becomes much more meaningful, much more inspired, much more energetic. There has to be a higher purpose. Otherwise, what is the purpose? Why am I doing all these things from morning to evening? Purposeless actions. So three selves knowledge is the first thing what Lord gave, and conclusion of the Lord was that there is no reason for you, Arjun, to grieve now. Do not grieve. Stop crying. Stop getting depressed, sad, emotionally drained. Bhagwan, I understood. Three selves are there: transactional, transmigratory, transcendental. Reality of three selves. I know, I came to know the nature of the three selves. Also, everything depends upon who do I consider myself as. Then what? What to do? How to conduct and transact in day-to-day life? So this is a knowledge. Immediately next breath after this topic, Lord completes. Immediately he becomes a lawyer now. So now those who are lawyers in this, we should see the case in the first, what Arjun has mentioned. So it is very important to write notes when we are summarizing, because there has to be a link. Summary is a link. So whatever pointers Arjun had mentioned in the first chapter, that why I do not want to fight the war, why I do not want to face the situation, that I will incur sin, this will happen, that will happen, women will be left alone, and then culture will go down, and this will happen, and then I will not go to Swarga. It is so many reasons he had given. Lord has taken up all those one by one, and like a lawyer destroyed one by one cases. And the first thing Lord starts is that get up and fight. There is nothing higher than doing one's duty. So now we have to see the link. Once he has completed this knowledge of the three self, next breath he is talking about do your duty. Now this verse is very important. We are going to take up few minutes to discuss this verse, which will be coming in the next slide. That what is this Swadharma? Lord is saying to Arjun that now you do your Swadharma. Now there is Swadharma, there is Dharma. These two are different one. You first of all find out what is your Swadharma. What is your temperament? And what is your unique role, goal in that situation, which is your Swadharma? That is what you have to do. So very, very important pointer. We are going to discuss on 2 slides later on, that how to discover one's own Swadharma, what are the questions, pointers to it, and what is Swadharma exactly. Dharma means that which sustains us, that is Dharma. That which integrates is Dharma. Swadharma is what is my inner calling, what is my inner temperament. In day-to-day life, we say, this is my calling. I don't know, but I get gravitated towards this. So on Sunday morning, suppose I'm getting up and getting gravitated towards this knowledge. This is my Swadharma. So that we will park it, and then we will complete what Lord has said from 31 to 37. This is Dharma Yuddha. Number 1 point he tells Arjun. Kshatriya's duty is to fight for Dharma. Number 2 point, if you die, you will enjoy heaven. If you win, you will enjoy earth. What a beautiful logic Lord is giving. Because in the war, when a Kshatriya fights, and this is what is in Islam, suppose we read Quran, this is a similar description which is coming at jihad. If you fight, only thing is that whether it is Dharma Yuddha or any other Yuddha, that is a question mark. So they are only taught about that if you die while fighting the war, you will go to heaven. But whether that is for right cause, that is what Lord is going to tell next. If you die, you will enjoy heaven. If you win, you will enjoy the earth. Both ways, it is a win-win situation for you. If you run away from the battlefield, if you are not ready to face this situation, thinking that no, now I will meditate, now I will read Bhagavad Gita Upanishad, now I want to go to ashram, you have to do your duty. In whatever you have created, whether you are in a job, whether you are in business, whether you are in a family, you have to do your duty towards yourself. You will become infamous for running away from your duty. In our earlier days, there used to be a saying, na ghar ka, na ghat ka. That saying came where one of the saint was telling, na ghar ka, na ghat ka, because earlier days there was no concept of divorce. When you leave the house, then you are going ghat. Ghat is Kashi Ghat, Varanasi, where the Ganga turns Uttarvahini, wherever the river turns northern direction. That is the most auspicious place. Where Narmada turns Uttarvahini, that is near Garudeshwar. I'm going to go now soon. There, if you go for Narmada Parikrama, then you get punya for entire Narmada Parikrama. It is 21 kilometers Parikrama. So, if you run away from your house and then you go to the Ghat and Himalayas and try to meditate, there also your Swadharma, your temperament will come out. Because you are not yet ready for meditation and all, Lord is going to tell him. You will be labored as coward. Earlier, when you came into the war, you said in the first chapter, okay, let me see, Bhagwan, who are these stupid people who have gathered to fight with me, whom I have defeated 1 month back. All these 14 years, you have been preparing for this war. And now you want to run away. You will incur sin. So now Lord is changing his entire concept of sin. Earlier, Arjun said that if I fight the war and kill people, I will incur sin. Now Lord is saying, if you do not fight the war, you will incur sin. So there are two. If I do not do my duty, that is also a sin. And if I do some other duty which is not meant for me, that is also a sin. What is a sin? Sin is that which takes us away from our higher goal. That's all. One of the major challenge what we have is when we compare ourselves with somebody else. Our happiness also is comparable. Our sorrow also is comparable. Why some people most of the time want to discuss sorrow of other people? Because somewhere unknowingly when we discuss bigger sorrow of another person, I feel, I am better, Bechara wo kitna dukhi hai. So there are many people constantly discuss about other people's deeper sorrow. Unknowingly they are empathizing with oneself that I am not having these problems. So here Lord is saying that you will incur sin. What is that sin? Many people think that I am not a sinful person. Now here in our Shastra, Vedanta is very, very clear. Sin is inner agitation, inner anger, inner restlessness. If I am experiencing inner agitation, inner restlessness, that is described as sin. Because that agitation, that restlessness is taking me away from my goal of being peaceful. Because Lord is going to conclude this chapter by saying is that your first duty is to keep your mind peaceful, because only peaceful, clear mind can absorb this particular knowledge and experience it. You will be dishonored. You will be looked down when you don't face the situation. This is more painful for a warrior being dishonored and looked down than getting killed in a war. So, all these are there from 31 to 37. So, get up and fight. So, and the next verse after this is one of my favorite verses in Bhagavad Gita, Sukha Dukkhe Samikrutva. How to fight, Lord is going to tell us. So now, after the three selves, so we have to see the link that who are you? There is no point in grieving. Second, immediately Lord is saying is that whatever situation you have found yourself in, whether marriage situation, job situation, business situation, you ask this question to yourself. What is your role? Now, many people know what is the role of wife, role of husband, role of son, role of manager, role of damager. But what is the goal? The goal drives the role. As we have discussed this many times, it is very easy to understand God, very easy to understand moksha, very easy to understand many things. Most difficult point in life to understand is that what is my duty at this particular point of time? What should I do? So before we go to that, how? We come to this, where Lord is asking us to discover our Swadharma. In 2.32, Lord says, do not waver from your Swadharma. Bhagwan, I don't know my Swadharma only. I don't know what is Swadharma. Okay, what is Swadharma? Natural mental temperament of an individual because of which I get inclined towards certain type of work. There are people who get gravitated towards bar, drinking. There are people who are gravitated towards smoking. There are people who are gravitated towards music. Suppose I go in a mall, I get gravitated towards clothes. Somebody will go and sit in crossword. Somebody will go and spend lot of time in some kind of architect, some interior designing work, because that is what is the inclination. So what is my natural inclination which drives me when I sit quietly? Which kind of thoughts come? What do I think all the time? As I think about leisure, travel, family, this, and my natural inclination is that. And this must be the basis. Actually, we must include this topic in our schools and colleges. And these are there. I think many of the children who before they take college, they attend this aptitude test classes. What is your aptitude? What kind of line you must take? Guruji jokes on this. One person went to aptitude test. He was told that you can become a pilot, you can become a chemist, you can become a doctor. Well, how can all these things? Pilot is different, doctor is different. But what is my natural inclination towards? So we must ask children, we must ask people, what is your natural inclination towards? Where your thoughts gets gravitated. This is extremely important in day-to-day life. This is where the frustration happens. This is where the agitation happens. This is where the whole problem starts happening. Even after doing the duty, I'm not happy and peaceful because my temperament is X, the work I'm doing is Y. When my work is in line with my temperament, then work becomes worship. Work becomes joyous. Last week, we had gone to Kolad where 13 couples had come, general managers of Indian Oil, and they had come with their spouses, and it's a very interesting, unique program. They were retiring. They are going to retire in the next 3 to 6 months. So 2 days program for various pointers on transition from retirement, from working to retirement. Because suddenly I'm working in a company and then I'll be retired. So one lady asked me that when this retirement, all these conversations were going on, that Prasad, you will not retire. No, I will not retire because this is not work for me. I will keep coming to Kolad. I will keep, because this training is not a job for me. It is something what I like. Painter paints out of joy, player plays out of joy, bodybuilder builds the body out of joy. मजा आता है. So there are 5 pointers. Choosing the right field, to do the right work with right attitude at right time for a right cause. Now this is very important, because though directly there Lord Krishna's advice to Arjun may not be applicable to us because I am not in a war. But that topic Lord has taken second topic to discuss, that you discover your Swadharma. So number 1 topic, you discover who you are. Transactional self, transmigratory self, transcendental self. Second topic, you discover what is your Swadharma. What is your natural inclination coming towards? What do you love? This will exhaust. Gurudev's commentary on this, many times this topic he picks up, that when we are on our Swadharma, this is the way to exhaust our karmas. And when we are on our Swadharma, that will create peace and joy for us, exhaust our karmas for us, and this will be service to the society. This will create success outside, happiness inside. But how to discover Swadharma? Following questions are pointers. Lord is going to take up entire chapter on this, where 3 gunas are going to be discussed in detail. Sattva guna, Raja guna, Tamas guna. So when we know these 3 gunas, we can discover what I am actually inclined towards. There are many chartered accountants who give up their chartered accountancy and become singers and then have a professional band, not thinking that what will people say, you are a chartered accountant, you are a doctor, but then you have given up all this because no, I am not interested. Actually, that was for earning money. Job is for livelihood. Job is not life. So answer yourself following questions to discover Swadharma. What kind of work? This is a common sentence in all. I will do without money and appreciation. That is my Swadharma. Even if I don't get money or appreciation, I will do this work. What kind of work brings the best out of me? Tendulkar is one of the classic examples. He says that I just think, breathe, live cricket, talk cricket endlessly. I can. Brings the best out of me. Cricket is not my profession, it is my love. And that's the reason during his retirement, he prostrated that 22 yards. This is my goddess on whom I played. Makes me forget time. What kind of work where I forget myself, I forget time? This is very important, because some people in cooking forget what is the time. Some people while doing puja forget the time. Some people studying Shastra, books after book, forget what is the time. No time, no exhaustion. Otherwise, those people who are not so interested in puja and going to temple, they will, kitna time? Acha, how much time puja will be there? 5 minutes. Okay, 1 hour. Then can we reduce the ritual? Because not so inclined towards puja, that is okay. Suppose I am inclined towards seva. Some people are inclined towards study. Some people inclined towards seva. Some people inclined towards sadhana. Where I forget myself. I do not feel exhaustion. Gurudev, many times I said that this work is not exhausting for me. The more I do, there is more thought that how much more I can do. Once he was so unwell and people were talking about a lot of things. One day he came out and told, I had a meeting with Lord. I've asked for more time because so much of work is to be done. 15% heart is working. Still we must listen to his talks in USA with such kind of energy. We cannot just imagine that this person is having 3 heart attacks, 15% heart is working and still going full throttle in for 1 hour. I always want to do more, learn more in this topic. I can do whole life this particular work. I feel inspired before doing this work, love while doing it, and feel peaceful after completing it. Just that work itself is giving me peace, inspiration, and love, not the result. Now, this is very, very important because we are going to take up next topic on Karma Yoga, where attachment to result is discussed in detail. So, Guruji gives this particular very interesting saying. He says, I have heard this, because you will understand why he's saying, I heard this. They say that suppose I want to enhance the duration of happiness. If you want happiness for 1 hour, take a nap. If you want one day happiness, play some game. If you want happiness for 1 week, travel. If you want happiness for 1 month, get married. This is what Guruji says, that okay, this I have heard as a saying. Maybe 1 month, maybe you can shift from 1 month to 3 months. Later on, it becomes routine, job, dal, atta, chawal, bhav, children, schooling, this work, that work, who will do what work. If you want 1 year of happiness, inherit wealth. Next life, next birth, you take in Ambani, Bill Gates, no work, money. But if you want happiness all time, full time, 24/7, 365 days, one of the mantra in our Shastra is discover our Swadharma, do what you love and love what you do. So this can only happen when we discover our Swadharma. Lord is telling Arjun here, Arjun has forgotten his Swadharma now. He has forgotten who am I. So according to Guruji, first chapter is identity crisis. We are that Satchitananda Swarup and crying for small thing. Anybody coming to Gurudev and crying, Gurudev, this is happening, my children, this is happening, not getting married, not having children, job, business, this, that, this problem, neighbor problem. He says, what is this? You are that infinite, all-pervading Satchitananda Swarup and sitting and crying here. All the time lifting the person's mind from local, narrow thinking to that next level. And that is what Lord did with Arjun. He didn't say anything to him. He directly started with the discourse of 3 selves. So Arjun here has forgotten his Swadharma. Number 1 point. He has forgotten who is he. Arjun is not having the right attitude in this situation. No, how can I fight with my grandfather? How can I fight with my teacher? I don't want to kill them. What will happen to them? But then 14 years you are roaming around in Vanvas, going through all the tortures. You went to Shivji, you went to Brahmaji, and you got all those astra, shastra from them. Only for this event you were planning. You became Brihannada in that king's palace just for spending that 1 year, just that. After those 14 years are completed, you will go and fight. Arjuna has forgotten the right cause for which the war has to be fought. So, Lord says here and concludes, my dear Arjun, your temperament is not meditative. This is very important to all of us. You are not Vairagi type yet that you are not yet suitable for going in Himalayas and sitting in isolation and reading all these Shastras and contemplate on truth and realize the self. That is the Upanishadic student. This is Gita student. You have been preparing for this war since long. You are a Kshatriya. Remember, who are you? You are not only a Kshatriya, you are a king. Not only you are a king, you are a warrior. Then you are a general in this situation because you are the general of this Pandava army. And then you know what is the cause. That you are not fighting this war to win the war and then kill Kauravas because there is adharma, what is happening in Hastinapur. So you get up and fight. My dear Arjun, you are not yet meant, because now this is very important, because Arjuna had this kind of question to Lord Krishna that Bhagwan, I want to meditate, I want to go to Himalayas, I want to give up everything, I want to escape the situation, which I find it difficult. And the same question again after this entire second chapter, Arjuna is going to ask in the third chapter to begin. So we have to hold on to this, where Lord is saying is that you know who are you, where have you been born, what is your role, what is your goal, what is your temperament, what is the current situation, and then face the situation with a higher cause. So you fight. But how? Now the second topic is over. That we have to do our duty, we have to do our Swadharma, where we can really enjoy, where work is worship. For some people, puja is work. For another type of people, work is puja. What is the attitude I'm working towards family, towards Chinmaya mission, towards whatever mission we are working is very important. With what attitude, Bhagwan, I must do my duty. That is a third topic coming now. So you see how Lord is taking one by one topic, and this I must remember if we are student of Bhagavad Gita, student of psychology. And now Lord is going to take one of my favorite words, Sukha Dukkhe Same Krutva, that how to fight, how to face a situation, that we will take up next time. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
So next Sunday's class?
Huh?
Next Sunday, will you be able to take class?
Next Sunday?
You will travel, no?
Yeah.
So
I will
that you
announce.
want to.
Let me see whether next Sunday, what time I'm leaving.